Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ruja Ignatova. I'm the founder and the CEO of the company OneCoin. OneCoin is a cryptocurrency and we have been extremely successful in the last months. We started actually softly in the end of September and mined the first OneCoin end of January. Since then, a lot of things have happened. A lot of things have happened in the network. We have been growing very, very fast. We mined over 100 million OneCoins. And today I have something very, very special for you. I would like to have a short conversation with a very special person here who is our auditor and who has audited the OneCoin blockchain. So today I will ask Deyan a few questions and he will give us some answers. And I hope that all of you after this conversation can understand what an audit is, learn a bit more about the blockchain and see that OneCoin is a real cryptocurrency and that we can all trust in this cryptocurrency and the future is very bright ahead of us. Thank you very much for your attention. Maybe you would say a few words about you, who you are, what you do and about your experience.
Well, hello everybody. My name is Deyan Dimitrov and I'm the managing partner of Semper Fortis, an auditing and advisory company, part of Morrison International. What we do, we audit and advise lots of companies, starting from IT audit, statutory audit, internal audit, pretty much any type of audit you can imagine, and advisory services. So this is who we are and what we do. Our company is in top 10 in Bulgaria and Morrison International is in the top 10 associations in the world actually, with hundreds of employees and hundreds of millions of dollars of turnover. So pretty much this is who we are.
So what our people always want to know, are you an employee of OneCoin or are you independent?
No, neither I nor any of our partners, associates, or any of our employees are part or have any interest in OneCoin. This is a matter of ethical code we sign with each certificate, with each audit certificate we gain. So no, we are not, and we cannot be part of our clients' companies or have any interest in them.
Now, how many companies do you audit per year? What is your experience in auditing?
Oh, well, it depends on the types of audit, but a couple of hundred per year in Bulgaria as Semper Fortis. And in the association, there are thousands and thousands of companies being audited by our member firms.
So I don't know if you have audited other cryptocurrencies or how this is. How come that? Is it common practice to audit cryptocurrencies?
Well, no, it is not actually. OneCoin is quite unique because, as is widely known, the cryptocurrencies are usually a decentralized model, and simply there is nothing to audit centrally. And with the decentralized currencies, you have all the blockchain available for everyone, so there is no need of audit like the one we have performed. So for us, OneCoin is the first company we audit, and I don't think that in a worldwide scale there are many more. Actually, OneCoin is the first one I have ever heard of, using centralized way of managing cryptocurrency.
So this is actually also something that I made as an experience when we started off and searching for somebody to audit the blockchain. We talked to many companies to audit it and everybody said this has not been done before. This is innovation. This is something very, very new.
Yep, that's why we stepped in the engagement, because it's unique and actually it is a challenge. And it comes from our background, actually, partners of our company, the founders of Semper Fortis, were both computer engineers.
Really?
Yeah, before being accountants, we were actually computer engineers. That's why we took the challenge. It was it is quite interesting.
So this is a unique combination between IT and financial audit. Interesting. Now, what does this audit mean? Because, you know, we are not accountants. We would like to understand what
in general, no matter what kind of audit you make, either it's statutory financial audit, if it's IT audit, information system audit or whatever, the audit exercise is a structured way of applying certain procedures in order to express a statement of whether something is or is not true. So more or less this is what audit is. So what is done in the process of auditing? we have a certain assertion. For example, the blockchain is consistent, as in our case. We design certain procedures in order to gain reasonable assurance that this statement is true or false. So this is what audit is.
So if I understand correctly, your audit means that you can go and tell the people, okay, what the blockchain shows is true or not true.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Put in a simple way, yeah, it is. It is what we do actually.
So actually, this audit is something that we wanted to do, because we decided to go with OneCoin in a centralized way first. We did not put the code in an open source, because we have a network of customers, and we in the beginning mined the coin actually only with the network and only with our customers. So of course our people trust us and they do a very, very good job, but I think that trust is something good, but it's always good to have some control also in the process.
Well, this is where audit business worldwide goes. Actually, it's a third independent opinion on something. In this case, the consistency of blockchain, of what we are talking. So even if you are not obliged by any law or anything to be audited, it puts a big amount of trust if you have somebody, third party, independent from the company, to assure the world that something is true or false.
So how many audits do you need to make, or how do you know if the transactions are real, if everything is okay? What do you need to do?
Well, what you need to do is strictly algorithmic work, which I can explain, of course, in details, but I think it would be quite boring. But more or less, the model of OneCoin is pretty similar with Bitcoin. So what is done is we check if every block consists of the transactions that are stated, and if the blockchain is consistent, meaning that each and every block follows the one before it, and there is no alternation in the blocks. So this is what we do.
So what you say is, if I understand correctly, just to say it simpler, you check if we mine outside the blockchain or if all coins are in the blockchain. So whatever we show is actually really mined, and we don't mine more or less coins.
Yeah, okay. You can put it this way. Actually, to be more precise, the first thing that shows in the audit, there are no coins outside of the chain. There are no more, no less coins than stated. And each and every transaction is true and consistent. Okay. So, in a simple way, this is what the audit needs to prove.
Now, of course, all our users outside want to know what came out of the audit. What happened?
Well, what happens? The product of an audit is an audit report stating that certain statement is true or false. In this case, what is our task? According to the contract between Semper Fortis and OneCoin, there are no coins mined outside of the blockchain. First, the blockchain is consistent, meaning there are no alternation in the blockchain. And what the users see on their website or interface or whatever you call it is the same thing that happens actually background. Okay. So these 3 or 4 things are what is stated in the report.
Okay in our blockchain.
Yeah, it is.
So
it is.
Okay. Now another question, because you did now an audit. This audit was perfect and everything was okay. However, I guess that this audit should be done on a regular basis.
Yeah, it is. Actually, it is done monthly. Up to now, we have audited the blockchain up to block number 9,300, and which will be the next block at the end of April. May, June, July, whatever. It depends on the activity, actually, of the users, but it will be done on a monthly basis. And in the end of each month, we shall report.
Okay. Can you explain a bit more in detail? How do you audit this blockchain? What do you do? How does your day-to-day work look like?
First of all, maybe a little bit of explanation what a blockchain is, actually. First of all, each and every activity is called a transaction. Each and a certain number of transactions is packed into a block. Then this block is hashed, meaning that you calculate a certain string of digits and numbers, And then you go to the next block. The next block is using the hash from the first one, plus the transactions including into it. Meaning that you cannot hash the previous a block without having the information for the previous one. So this is actually how the blockchain is done. And what the blockchain consists of, this is each and every transactions that have ever happened in the OneCoin or whatever cryptocurrency actually. It's a general principle. It's not dependent on either it's one Bitcoin, Litecoin or whatever. So what you do are two things in audit. Audit in general, not just the OneCoin. The first thing is the so-called substantive procedures, meaning that you do detailed tests on certain blocks, certain transactions, certain database entries or whatever. And the next thing is analytical procedures, meaning that you search certain dependencies, not only in the blockchain, but in the system as a whole. Of course, as audit approach, we have a number of tools and techniques. For example, meeting people, asking them certain things in order to understand the business. The first thing you actually do it with a client, no matter what is the auditor or the client, the first thing you do is understanding its business. Then you go to these detailed testing and analytical procedure. You examine hands-on where the things happen. You of course do tests on using algorithms designed by us, which are part of the engagement. And after all this is done, after you actually gather enough evidence to state that something is true or false, you should report. So this is pretty much what is done in an audit process.
Actually, you spent quite a lot of time also in our office and also
yeah,
in our IT team.
yeah. Actually, we did. And it's because OneCoin is something unique. It's something we have never seen before, so we really need it some time.
So now, after you finish this first report, everybody wants to see it or ask, okay, what came out of the audit? How will this work? How will this look like?
Well, after the report is issued, we give it to you, and it's up to you if you will publish it or not.
Well, we will publish it, of course,
so
because
you are the client, you have the report, and you can do whatever you like with it.
Yes. Very, very good. So we'll see also an example of this report, which is very, very interesting. I think cryptocurrency is actually a very, very interesting part of business, and there have been many famous people now commenting on cryptocurrency. Bill Gates said that it's the future of payments, and I think it's very, very important, the trust part of cryptocurrency, because if done well and if done in a good way, this part of finance, in my opinion, can become something like a second banking system. I can send so much easier money from one point to the other in the world, and if people trust this system, it's something unique.
Well, I think it will not be a second banking system, but it will be the next banking system actually. Simply because first of all, it's very easy to use, of course, but it has something unique. Actually, cryptocurrency gives back the golden standard. You can mine a finite amount of coins. Actually, it doesn't matter if it's OneCoin or whatever cryptocurrency. The algorithms are set so that you actually cannot mine infinite number. So it's no more fiat money. Actually, you can return the golden standard in this.
Also, what is very interesting is we have sometimes a waiting list for the mining, and what people sometimes do not understand, that I cannot issue more coins faster.
Yeah, this is why you cannot dig infinite amount of gold. That's the idea. So yeah, there is a waiting list, and actually this is the strongest, because the easy of use, you can use very easily fiat money. You can have your credit card or whatever card, checks. So there are another easy ways of transactions, but the cryptocurrency is unique with this. It actually gains more and more value as the time passes, simply because it's not infinite. You can of course split it by halves, tens, millions, but it's still a finite amount.
My last question maybe, where do you see OneCoin? Where do you see the future of OneCoin? How do you see us? Because you know us quite well now as a company. You spent quite a lot of time with us. You spent a lot of time in our IT, and it will be interesting for us to hear.
Well, I think that OneCoin is the other level of cryptocurrency, simply because So far the cryptocurrencies are decentralized, meaning that there are a lot of potential for fraud, for things like this. And OneCoin is the first centralized actually cryptocurrency, so it combines in synergy first all the advantages of cryptocurrency, and second the advantage of the central usage and mining and whatever, the central activities of the coin. So what I see is quite a potential for growth here. And being the market leader, as far as I know, I really haven't found any other companies. To be honest, I think being the first have its advantages, really.
I must say that we are also very, very happy how we are moving. Today, with unofficial data, we're something between number 4 and number 5 in the world. However, my goal was, as I said in the beginning, and everybody was actually laughing at me when I was saying this, that we would like to be top 3. And with top 3, I never say number 3, you know, top 3.
Yeah.
I want to be one of the big players and just to create something unique and something big, which is like something that matters. Yeah.
I actually must admit that the first time your COO sent me the presentation, I really was not believing that you can be in top 3, but now I see it's quite true, actually. So I must say I was an unbeliever at first.
Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
It was really a pleasure talking to you. We will publish the audit report, and we will publish also some contact information where maybe some of the users, if they have some questions about this, might contact you.
It's actually the last page of the report.
Oh, very nice. That's
So
amazing. So they can do this. Of course, it takes you always a bit of time to reply. So
Yeah.
don't reply on the spot, but it's very, very nice that you would do this. And yes, then we're looking forward to next month, to the
Yeah.
next audit report. And
Yeah, the next one will be end of May.
thank
So
you.
thank you.